10 race program, 3 Group 1s, a massive day of racing at Ellerslie on Saturday. To analyse the form, Jason Tarn, how have you gone through it?
Well, in terms of the weather, that's going to be significant, Aidan. It was a good to the track on Friday morning with the expectation of rain on Friday. Obviously, we're filming this just after noon on the Friday. The rail is out 2.5 metres. The expectation is probably a dead 4 to a good 3 track. Even if there is 15 mils of rain, we know how well draining Ellerslie is these days. So it's not going to be sort of slow or heavy unless for some reason there's 25 mils of rain. Possible, but not likely.
Quality program, Jason. We kick off with the first, which is the White Cliffs Timber 1200. See there a bit of money around Mr. Universe, who I do like, walking by at 460. 650 about Brison Satriani, who was okay last time out. And Spindle at $6 was luckless. How'd you see it?
Bookmakers keeping 6 runners pretty safe. So it is a competitive race. No knock on Mr. Universe being favourite. I thought we might get a little bit more around Spindle, to be fair. Thought we might get $8 or $9, but bookmakers have her at 6 and 220. She's my top selection for the race, and to me a great $20 March Madness type outlay. Where if she doesn't win, I think she's going to be running in the first 4. She was very unlucky last week. She should have finished closer. If she gets any luck in the straight, I think she can be in the finish. Any
concern about the drop back to 1,200 metres for a horse who's only won 3 of 33?
No.
Okay, here you go. Let's move on to the second, the Royal Descent Stakes, and this one fillies and mares at set weights and penalties. $4 Nicoletta, $4.40 Contessa Vanessa and Sandrine. Podravina, very good last time at $3.20, and prior to that was placed in stakes level. It wired up a thoroughbred breeders, and she looks to me like a March Madness best. What are you going to put on?
The horse that I think is the best performed is Nicoletta, clearly. I mean, she clearly is the best performed horse in the race, and she's only giving a kilo at most other runners and set weight, the same weight for a couple of others. Yeah. So her run last time was okay. If Opie Boss can find the front and roll along at a genuine speed, then she'll give stablemate Podravina plenty to catch. I think she can win.
Okay. So Group 1 performer, yet to place in 3 starts at Ellerslie. Anything there?
No, because she's run okay there. She's the type of horse that she just needs the tempo to suit. In a small field with top jockey on, I think he can potentially control the race to suit. I really like her, actually. I think she's a top chance on the day.
Opie Boston has been given an allowance of ½ kilogram on her, so she'd probably carry 56. I mean,
at handicap should be giving sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 kilos to other runners in the race, so I don't think that's significant.
Podravina was great last week, though.
Yeah, no, you know, she's racing in good form, and she has ratings in her, you'd think. Yep. She might be able to find them tomorrow if she's able to beat Nicoletta, but I think she'll run a good race, Nicoletta.
Okay, third of the program, special conditions race, really competitive affair here. The Helix at 650, who I do like. William Tell was good last week, 650. Bethany comes up at 280. Is that shorter than you expected, although she is bringing terrific maiden form?
I thought they might have her around sort of 3 to 350. I actually thought that the 2 horses at the top, the Helix and William Tell, might be a little bit shorter than the $6.50 quote. So there is more of a differential between those 3 horses' prices, particularly 2 and Bethany, than I thought. She's my best of the weekend, Bethany. Wow. The form around her is outstanding, and on the face of that, she rates to be better than William Tell by, I think I had 1.5 lengths between them and another length between that and also the Helix. I've also had a look at race number 4 and Ellerslie.
Go on, jumping ahead.
Ellersle's a good each-way play in race number 4, even though we haven't seen the market. She was about $12, I think it was, when I looked at this market yesterday.
Okay, if I can just go back to race 3, because I was really keen on the Helix, and that format of that Mudda race, we've seen Tolmac, who finished in behind it, come out and run a pretty good race for 7th in the Derby and finished in the fastest last 600 of that race. So I thought the Helix had a lot of upside, and at 650 I'm really prepared to play that. Okay, we know what you're doing in race 4, but let's have a look at the market for it here now as well. 480 about Monaco. I've made this my best of the program. Jip Jip Rock, we saw this horse show plenty last preparation. Barrier 13's not easy. Honesty, my best from last week at $6. Not easy from 12 there as well. Together at $6. And there's Alessandra at 12 and 370. You'd like the price, Jason?
I love the price. That's why I made her a bet on the first call, is that 12 and $3.70. Look, I think there's enough pace in this race for Alessandra to settle just back of midfield and hopefully track into it from sort of the 400 metres and finish really strongly. 1400 metres, no dramas as a trip overall, but she's a really good each way play at a price.
At a 1/2 sort of basis.
Yep.
Excellent.
Depending on your budget, multiply that by whatever.
Race 5 is the Fast Track Insurance, 1600, rating 72. Competitive race here. Rhinestone Cowboy has won 3 of 5, was beaten by a smart one in Concert Hall last time out when carrying 56.5. Does go up 5 kilograms for this, which might be the concern, but just looks very good. Stephen James closed off really well. Matamata last time out. Tight lines have been luckless in the last few at 450. Cinerama and Vichy have both got form as well. It's a cracking race, Jason.
It's an excellent race. I don't think you want to be taking $3.20 around Rhinestone Cowboy. I think that's a massive under. I think he's a horse with a lot of potential, a lot ahead of him. I know that the stable want to get him up over ground.
I should be asking for a refund, or...?
Oh, have you taken this 320? It's too late if you have.
I do like Rhinestone Cowboy.
I mean, I agree. I like him as a horse as well, but it's all about price. I know that they're tossing around getting the horse to Melbourne at a race like the Andrew Ramsden, which is 2,800 metres and gives automatic entry into the Melbourne Cup. So the aspirations are to try him over ground in time. Whether he turns out to be a star or not remains to be seen, but the Baker Forsman stable have a big opinion of him. Tightline's had 0 luck the last couple of starts. Probably should have won it today for 2 starts ago, and last start the tempo completely went against him and he rattled off the fastest last 200 of the program at Ellerslie. Now, in itself, it's deceiving because that race was so slowly run. He was entitled to really hit the line sitting second last in the running. But if he can just find a pair closer or 2 pairs closer off a genuinely run race, I know the field's bigger, so it should be more truly run.
He's got the gate speed to do that.
He just needs clear air. Yep. If he gets 400 metres of clear air, I'm sure you're going to see a horse that's going to let down and show himself to be well above average. He should be winning a race like that. So, look, $4.50 is the price. Like, I didn't have anything shorter than that in that race because it's quite a competitive race.
Yeah, really
and that's why I think that 320 Rhinestone Cowboy is way unders.
Okay.
But he's still a leading chance. But look, second up, 61.5 kilo. For Rhinestone Cowboy, I'm happy to go with tight line.
Okay, fair points. So, okay, move you on to race.
I could have said that in 20 seconds maybe, but I was spread it over about 90, sorry.
Laser Tapuki 1200 next to go. Pretty
People
to see
haven't
at
got all day
550.
these days, you see.
That is true, Jason. Ricky Tiki Tabby won this day last year. I think the same race too, 650. You're getting 850 about midnight runner, good at the trials. Joanna, $859. Dharma Zora.
Stratocaster at $14. Are you at all keen on Stratocaster or not?
It's got a bit of a job to do from a wide gate.
Yeah.
Has been okay though, and you look at the wins at Ellerslie, 5 back, 3 back were both very good as well, and gets a 3 kilogram claim of an informed apprentice in Taika Yanagita.
I just thought that from that draw it made the decision easy. Just drop back, let the horse relax. And he's been amazingly effective when allowed to do that. I know when Opie Bosson rode him to win at Ellerslie, you know, in a small field, he sort of sat handy and he controlled things, Opie Bosson, but dropping down in grade with that apprentice allowance off a decent speed, I can sort of see him being produced centre track and really flashing at them. So I was happy to have a little spec at $14. I thought he might have been shorter than that, but
it does seem to be good speed here as well.
Yeah, there does. I mean, again, it's a premier day, so this is a race day where the money's up.
Yep.
Connections are going to have their horses, trainers are going to have their horses as well as they can, and jockeys are going to be giving no quarter to try and make sure they're giving themselves the best chance and try to ensure their competition isn't. Yep. But look, it's a great price to spec for me, Stratocaster at that $14.
One thing about Pretty to See, comes in 2 kilograms better than Stratocaster out of that Concord, and actually meets Ricky Tiki Tabby, who the form looks good even post that race, 2.5 kilograms better. So I was pretty keen about the chances of Pretty to See here. Let's move you on to next to the program, and this is the first of our Group 1. 16 mistakes, $2.90 about Your Deal despite barrier 11. Very good in the Matamata slipper. Bavella for $20, $5 Altair Lad, and Aretha at $9.50. How'd you see the Group 1?
Just checking my text messages to see if there's anything there about Just Serene, but there is not. However, this was the horse that on social media is a big boom before she made her debut, Just Serene. Well, she hasn't managed to win yet, but she's certainly shown enough. She was
very close in behind Castle Vecchio, who went on to win a $2 million race at his next start.
Yes. And Tony McAvoy has brought her over, and some money has been attracted for her as well, or she has attracted some money made no sense what I said. She's attracted some money in betting. Thad Taylor told us on the first call earlier today. But Your Deal is clearly the horse to beat for me. He was sensational, I thought, last start at Matamata after running very well in the Karaka Million. He had a wide draw that day. He has the widest draw on Saturday, so it's not an open and shut sort of race because of that fact. But there's good enough speed in it if Opie Bosson can sit midfield with some cover and just do what he does and track into the race before unleashing this horse centre track, then he's the horse to beat for sure. Yep,
have it on top as well, and you can follow Jason Tan on social media as well. We'll give out your details at the end of this segment, shall we? The Bone Crusher New Zealand Stakes is race 8, over 2,000 metres weight for age. We've got this clash between Melody Bell and Dance Dance Dance. They've both been multiple Group 1 winners this season and stars. 550 on the rocks, who was terrific in the Herbie Dyke Stakes last time out. Vinda Dance, the New Zealand Derby winner who won the Kaimai Stakes at $9, beating home Rondinella $9 as well. And Consensus, another Group 1 winner in here, 14s. The Thornton Mile winner even, Shadows Cast 26s, and last year's winner, Saint Emilion at 51. It's a cracking race, Jason.
Sure is, Aidan. And on the rocks himself, it's like his run in the Herbie Dyke, for all the excuses that I've made for Dance Dance Dance, and I think she deserves to be forgiven for that, how that race panned out for her. Yeah. On the rocks in his own right was super, and you can understand from that draw, you'd think that Jake Bayliss is going to have him positioned the first 4 or 5, or just behind the main speed anyway, to produce like he did at Te Rapa, and he just showed that pick up and go. And we know in an Avondale Guineas as a 3-year-old he's managed to beat home Dance Dance Dance, so he has that capability. That said, there's good enough speed in this race to me that should see Dance 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 settle again, and she will be ridden pretty neutrally early. She'll settle back, and I think she can wind into the race, and it's going to be a really interesting battle between her and others. Like, we've spruiked Melody Bell and her being, sort of head to head, and that's what the market sort of said. The bookmakers have framed it up like that, but there are other runners in that race that have quality, as you've mentioned, in their own right. So you've got your On the Rocks, you've got your up-and-comers like your Vinda Dance and your Rondinella in there, and you've got your Consensus, who has been 7 times round Ellerslie over 2,000 metres at weight for age and hasn't finished further back than 4th, having won twice, once at Group 1 level and the other the OMF. It's a really good race, and you know what, it's exactly what we need. New Zealand racing wants to see our best horses come together, and hopefully we'll see sort of one stand atop and say, I am the best. I think it might be Dance Dance Dance, but the money says Melody Bell. So I'm going against it.
It's a really good race. Make sure you tune in and watch the TAB YouTube coverage of that, tab.co.nz/YouTube. You can get 2 hours from 4 o'clock with all the 3 Group 1s encompassed in that coverage. Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup is the final of those Group 1 events. Features Charles Road at 3:30, 1:48, $5 5 to midnight. Vonja Mask at $6.50, Gun Down at $9, and we'll see further down $5 about Glory Days. How'd you see the Cup?
I saw Charles Road as clearly the horse to beat in it, and then I didn't have much between Volshamars 5 to midnight and Glory Days. I was really taken by what Glory Days was able to do in the Avondale Cup. For her to come from last and sustain that run, I know Blue Breeze ran her close, but that was a top performance in a race that was run genuinely. It was a genuinely run race.
And she stepped up from 1,600 metres to do it. First time round Ellerslie, you'd expect there's improvement on both counts.
Exactly right. So she's got to turn a foot, but she will have to settle back again from that draw, you'd think. You just, if she's drawn 6 or 8, then you might say, oh, she'd just be behind midfield. She could settle that close, but she's just in a devil of a spot. She's going to have to be giving Charles Road, a few lengths at the top of the straight, and he's very good. I think he wins the race.
His run in the Kaimai Stakes, super under 60.5, drops to 57 kilograms. He looks thrown and near enough to it under the set weights and penalties. Very hard to beat and special as well.
I don't think it's an El Soldado, Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup. I don't think so. But then I didn't expect 100-1 shot to win the Derby last week either. Jesus, twice in a carnival. Could it happen? We'll wait and see. Barfoot and Thompson 2100 to end the program as a rating 65 event. Geez, Rocky Sox is bringing some form, isn't it?
closed off for 5th in a race that was a sit sprinter behind Crown Prosecutor, who's gone on to win a Derby. Last time out, closed off really strongly in behind Platinum Invader, who's come in and run 3rd in the Derby. He's at $13. Lord Arthur's in very good form. Hoist there as well, Amano and VCC.
Yeah, it's a good race, isn't it? It's not easy for 3-year-olds, be they colts, geldings or fillies, to come, compete in the sort of rating 65, rating 72 grade, but I think VCC can be competitive in this last race, the rating 65-21. From that draw, Taiki Yanagita, I'm sure, will be instructed to just allow her to find her feet, and then to, she'll need a little bit of luck to track into the race, but she hasn't had much luck in recent stakes company. So the positive is that she'll have some weight relief because of Taiki's claim. The negative is the draw. She's as short as you'd want her to be, though, to back her at $4.60. Look, maybe on the day she'll be a bit looser than that on the tote, but she's the horse that I've got as an each way bet in the race.
I've gone for the stablemate Lord Arthur, Bonnevale's half-little brother.
He's worked super.
Yeah, by all accounts he's flying.
Having spoken to Andrew Forsman this morning, he said that Lord Arthur has worked very well alongside Vinda Downs. So.
Okay, best of the day?
Best in the day is Bethany in race number 3, the special conditions race at $2.80. I'm hoping she's not going to be a maiden anymore.
Okay, we'll get on to follow you. We'll set you up on all the social media platforms, and we'll look forward to a massive day of racing. Get involved. Auckland Cup Day at Ellerslie.
Thank you, Agent 200.